Now that we have a toehold in the Commonwealth and we've gotten ourselves a decent base we can come back to, bring our horde of loot back to, and live in, it's time to get ourselves some power armor because we won't survive super long without it. I know we've done okay so far, but this game, this mod, it's not forgiving. One tiny mistake and that's it, but power armor will add some level of forgiveness to the playthrough. So after a bit of inventory management and a bit of crafting, making sure we're fed and watered, it's time to head up towards the robotics disposal ground in the hopes of getting a fusion core, a sentry bot for ourselves, and then eventually finding some power armor up by the crashed vertibird because there is still a set sitting up there as far as I know, and then going over to USAF Satellite Station Olivia, where there will be a guaranteed fairly easy to get fusion core, and then we'll proceed down into Concord and get all the stuff down there as well. There should be 1 or 2 fusion cores down there. I could blow up the sentry bot too with a self-destruct, and I should get some fusion cores there, though I'm not sure if I actually want to blow him up or not. We'll see. We'll see how useful he is in Frost. Of course, around Sanctuary there are a couple of raider camps and random survivors that we can take out for their loot. There were a couple of dogs up here as well as this raider. I'm not sure where his dog is at. Typically in the base game he has a dog as well, but maybe not sure why it's not here in Frost. Anyway, there was some good stuff up here, and then there's a scavenger that we can take out as well. And then it's up to the robotics disposal facility to get ourselves a sentry bot and a set of power armor, though we can't use it yet because we need that fusion core.
Good morning.
You
Vault-Tec
win.
calling.
The mirelurks that normally are here by the shore are not here because they're all turned into mutt crabs or mute crabs, so they're not a threat anymore. It's kind of nice. Normally they're a real pain to take out at this point in the game. I could have done it with the gun I have, but yeah, thankfully we just get some free eggs. I sent our robot friend here down to USAF Olivia, but he didn't really seem to do much when he was there, so we ended up having to take everything out ourselves, though it looks like some of the bloatflies turned into feral ghouls, possibly, and attacked the people that were here, making it a bit easier for us. I guess kind of an interesting interaction there between how the conversion of some enemies turn into feral ghouls in Frost and makes them a little bit more dangerous than they normally would have been. Typically the raiders would have taken out those guys no problem.
Okay.
If you've been up here in the base game, you know what that sound means. So yeah, after that I just jumped into USAF Olivia as soon as I could because I don't want to deal with the mole rat with a mine strapped to its back.
Huh? Hearing shit.
Okay.
Shit's got ambush all over it.
It's on! I've done this hundreds of times. Think you'll be any different?
Quite another lucky find here. We got a large backpack, this one black, which in my opinion is much more stylish than the gray one that I have, so I'll give the gray one to our Vault-Tec friend and then wear the black one myself. Also a decent gas mask and a decent standalone armored coat. These are not bad. They have 15 weight and give a reasonable amount of damage resist, both energy and ballistic damage resist, so not terrible. I gave that to our Vault-Tec friend, who seems to have lost his mind a bit in the post-apocalypse in the intervening 5 years between when we went down in the vault in the base game and since he's been on the surface for all that time. Not bad find. With the raiders out of my way, the path to this fusion core is cleared, so I grabbed that. Didn't bother with Ak or whatever she's renamed to in Frost, because she typically has a minigun, and miniguns in Frost are very, very scary. So just grab the fusion core, head outside to go and get my new set of power armor. At the crashed vertibird, we do indeed find a partial set of power armor. I think it's missing a left arm. Not too bad, though. The helmet and everything else is like the most important parts, so pretty happy about that. Though I will find out later that I won't be able to use all the pieces of it. Even regular T45 is a bit too much in terms of damage resist for our power armor training, so I'm going to have to get better power armor training very soon in the near future, and that can only come from Fort Hagen as far as I know. So that should be interesting, trying to get that. I also took out the mole rats and the rad stags around this area as well, because I do have the hunter perk now.
Okay. The big kaboom is... it's inevitable.
Yeah, even this power armor that's incomplete, it doesn't have a full set, is 580, and the maximum we can do is 350. So while this is fantastic armor, we're going to move very, very slow, and I think we're going to drain the fusion core a lot faster than we normally would. So unfortunately, I have to unequip several pieces and just carry them with me back to the base. We'll store them for now. We can always retrieve them later on. I'm sure we'll find better armor in the future as well once we get the better power armor training. But for now, this is a heck of a lot better and a heck of a lot safer than running around with like 50 or 60 armor from the stuff we had. Plus, it gives us more carry weight because power armor doesn't have carry weight to it. So we get armor and a bit of a strength boost, and we don't have to carry our armor on us. So win-win-win all around. But anyway, I was able to take some stuff off and then carry everything back to the base with me. On the way, I decided to take out the raiders that are just south of this area and take them, their little camp out as well. There's a couple mole rats too, and a dog, and then we went back to Sanctuary to drop off all of our goodies.
The big kaboom is helping secure your future.
With my newfound power and protection, plus the radiation and rad resist, I felt a lot more confident going over to the Red Rocket here and taking out the ghouls. Unfortunately, there was a slight mishap, friendly fire that happened with our Vault Tech representative. I'd say I was sad, but I don't even know if he was actually real to begin with, because he turned into a mannequin after he died. So, maybe he was just a figment of my imagination? Probably. In any case, we took out the stuff at the Red Rocket here, and later on I can go down into the mole rat den down below, get all the brain fungus and the glowing fungus, which is useful for making antibiotics and stuff later on, and all the goodies down there, plus an extra fusion core. So now we have +1 on our fusion core count, and I don't have to worry so much about running out immediately. After a quick drop off at Sanctuary, we headed back down to Red Rocket into the mole rat den. Time to kill some mole rats, get some loot, and most importantly, that juicy fusion core. Well, down here I leveled up again. I decided to put my level up into Medic. This will increase the effectiveness of my Radaway and Stimpaks quite a bit, and I would like to use a Radaway quite soon to remove a bunch of rads. I did get 3 Radaway from a box up by the water purification plant type thing. It's up to the northeast, or no, southeast, I guess, of Sanctuaries where it would be. It's, if you go around the lake, I guess, from the statue south of Sanctuary, if you go around the lake to the east there and up the hill, you'll find what I'm talking about. There's a little water purification place with a skeleton and a 44 pistol and a box on top that contains some goodies, including, I believe, 3 Radaways guaranteed. From a survivor that I killed down in Concord, I found out from her journal that slavers have taken over Lexington Station. And there's some more lore here as well. Pretty interesting stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen this particular journal yet before. After reading that, I decided to make my way back up to Sanctuary and drop off my current fusion core because I don't need to have 2 right now. I should find 2 more in Concord, 1 down below in the civic area, and then 1 in the Museum of Freedom, unless they've been removed by mods. But unfortunately, I aggroed some raiders that were in Concord. They have quite the wide detection range, it seems like, Maybe that's because I'm in power armor now. I think maybe the stealthiness levels have been nerfed since I'm in power armor quite a bit by Frost. But in any case, took them out, head back up to Sanctuary and dropped off my stuff, and then got ready to go back out again. Oh yeah, and fun fact, the blood bugs in the game, apparently those are all turned into wolves, and wolves are just much meaner, stronger versions of dogs. Thank goodness I have power armor on. Okay, I actually lied. I went over to Abernathy Farm instead of Concord. The reason for that is because I need to get some sleep because I'm overtired. Sleeping in that crappy bed down below was not enough to really fully restore my, well, my sleepiness, I guess. So I have to get a real bed, which there is one guaranteed over at Abernathy right here. So I went to Abernathy and took a rat away and then slept for a good long while and then woke up nicely refreshed and radiation, well, mostly radiation free. After a quick stop at Sanctuary to drop off my stuff, cook some food, and make sure I had plenty of space in my inventory, it was time to clear out Concord and the civic access down below properly.
Shit, she's down.
I took quite a bit of damage during that fight, more than I would have expected, honestly, mostly because I was being stubborn and trying to hit that guy in melee when I probably should have just pulled out my rifle to begin with. But anyway, I decided to pop a bandage and then head down to the Concord Civic access because there's not much down there besides some bugs, which are pretty easy to kill and not too much of a threat. So I figured I'd heal up while I was down there, loot the place, and check if that fusion core was still here. And thankfully, yes, it still was. So +1 additional fusion core. Well, down here, I found an entrance to the Concord station. This doesn't exist in the base game, but in Frost, there are many metro areas added. I guess the idea is that some of these areas that collapsed later on hadn't collapsed yet, just after the Great War. So I decided to poke in there and take a look around, see how bad it was. And I ended up killing a few people, of course, and taking their stuff.
Damn it! How much you got left in you?
One of these survivors had a handmade on them, not the best receiver, but it does have a very good magazine and a very good barrel and a reasonable stock, so I'll keep this for taking parts off of later. Hopefully eventually I can find a good receiver and then I'll have a nice secondary weapon I can use. In an adjacent subway line, I found a group of ghoul survivors. They were immediately hostile to me, unfortunately, probably outcasts or runaway slaves from Lexington Station, but I still felt rather bad killing them in such a brutal manner.
Get up, Bob! Get up! Something's out. Here we go.
huh? Found you. I got him.
The real hell of it is, this wears pretty heavily on my character's sanity, as in literally it lowers my sanity stat, and they don't have much loot and don't give very much experience. All around, just not a great time for anyone. After that, I head back up to the surface, climbed the church in Concord, and jumped across over to the vertebra. This is the only way to reach this. Now, in previous versions of Frost, there was a minigun up here that you could grab that would give you somewhere around 800 to 1,000 rounds of 5mm, and a minigun with power armor with Frost, how much damage it does, would be a formidable thing indeed. Unfortunately, this has been nerfed. You can no longer pull it off, you no longer get the ammo, and the power armor even has been sealed shut, so no love up here, nothing to get except for what's inside in the Museum of Freedom itself, so I've headed inside to kill some more raiders.
That's it.
Oh, hell no!
What?
No! Don't you die on me!
Time to reel him in. Bring it, you tin can!
More lore here. This is a journal from Mike Daly, the soldier whose fusion core had burnt out and whose power armor is now sealed shut on the roof of the Museum of Freedom, talking about scouting the area and finding the hell that was just after the bombs dropped. Also a note to Vic. Could this be the V that we were referred to in that initial note who gave us our initial stuff that left a note saying, "This is all I can spare, V"? Possibly. I don't know. But at this point I was quite over-encumbered, couldn't really carry anything else. In fact, I found a mini-nuke in a random ammo container that I certainly couldn't carry because they weigh 12 pounds, so I had to pick it up and hold E on it to carry it in front of me like this all the way back to Sanctuary, but at least I got it. That will make 2 of them that I have access to, plus the Fat Man that you can get up at the Robotics Disposals facility. I didn't get that yet, but I could. That means I'd have technically a Fat Man plus 2 mini-nukes. If I wanted to assault Fort Hagen, those would be invaluable. I'd have to store up a crit, and then I could use a crit to VATS crit one of the vertibirds, or both of them, and then I would guaranteed be able to kill them. That would reduce the threat of the area significantly. I'll have to think about that, whether or not I want to risk it. At this point, though, I was quite tired IRL, so I decided to call it quits here and save the rest for another day.